Sum of squares of two consecutive natural even numbers is 244. Find the numbers. Now, there are three things that we need to understand. The first thing is few of you might not know the meaning of consecutive. Of course, all of you, I assume you know the meaning of natural as well as even. So there are three words being used here. Natural numbers, they start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. So this is the first word we need to understand. This is the second word that we need to understand. Consecutive implies one after another. So for example, 2, 4, 6, 8. So these are consecutive even numbers. So consecutive, natural, even. So these are the three things that we need to understand before we even start the question. Now let's have a look at the question again. Sum of squares of two consecutive natural even numbers is 244. Find the numbers. Now one thing that I want to share, because this will help you in lot of other situations also, is whenever they are asking you about any random even number, always assume the number to be 2x. Why 2x? Because you can put any value of x. So this 2 into x will become a even number. So let's try. So for example, if I put x is equal to 3, even then 2x is equal to 6. If I put x is equal to 5, even then the number is 5 to the 10. So what I'm trying to tell you is that whenever they are asking you any even number, always assume that the even number that you want to start with is 2x. But then what you need to understand is when you solve the question and when you find the value of x. So for example, you find the value, you solve the quadratic equation, you find the value of x is equal to 5. Always remember that the number that you have assumed is 10. Number is not 5, because the number that you want is twice of x. I hope you are able to understand this. If you are not able to understand this, I think by the end of this solution you will be able to understand. So this is about the random even number. Now if there are consecutive even numbers, now let's understand what do we do when there are consecutive even numbers. When there are consecutive even numbers. So when there are consecutive even numbers, for example, if first number is 2x, then the consecutive number would be 2x plus 2. Another number if you want to have, it will be 2x plus 4. This is very useful when you are trying to solve the arithmetic progression questions also. This again will be useful. At times in arithmetic progression, this is not required here, but still I'll explain it to you. So for example, if they are asking for consecutive 3 even numbers, then you can have numbers like 2x, 2x plus 2, 2x minus 2. This is especially useful in arithmetic progression, the next chapter. You can ignore this for now, but what you need to understand for solving this question right now is that when they are asking for two consecutive even numbers, I'll assume 2x and then the other consecutive number, even number, would be 2x plus 2. I hope you are able to understand this. Now, I want to go a bit beyond because it will help you someday. If they are asking you about even numbers, because some of you might be curious to know that what if they ask us, odd numbers. I'm sorry, odd numbers. So whenever they are asking for odd numbers are 2x plus 1, can be 2x minus 1. So if I want to start, for example, if I had to find two consecutive odd numbers, then I'll take 2x plus 1, 2x plus 3. I can also take 2x minus 1, 2x plus 1. So these consecutive numbers or logic of consecutive numbers should be very clear. If there is nothing mentioned, let us assume there is nothing mentioned. So they are just asking you about the consecutive numbers. They have said that there are two consecutive numbers. Odd, even, they haven't mentioned anything. Then it will be x plus 1. Usually in AP they'll ask you about three numbers. three consecutive numbers, then you can assume it to be x minus 1, x plus 1. So these are important kind of questions. You should try to do more and more these kind of questions. Consecutive. Please try to understand the meaning of consecutive. Now let's come back to the question which they are asking. So sum of square of two consecutive natural even numbers is 244. So they are asking us the sum of squares. Sum of squares. So if I assume my number to be 2x and 2x plus 2, these are my two consecutive even numbers. Then what the question will become is 2x square, 2x plus 2, because I have to take the square of the numbers, and I have to sum it. Sum of squares of two consecutive natural even numbers is 244. Please try to read a word problem multiple times so that you don't miss anything critical. It always helps. Try to read a question multiple times, uh, especially if you are a beginner. You can read the question 5 times. So please don't worry. No one is stopping you from reading a question 5 times. That is what I always recommend students, that please read a word problem multiple times. So this is the quadratic equation that will be formed. And now let's look at the solution. So as I've discussed, the numbers are 2x and 2x plus 2. So I've taken the square of the numbers. You should understand how to expand 2x plus 2. If you are not comfortable with the expansion a plus b whole square, I will be using a plus b whole square as case. So please look at the playlist given in the comment section. So this is 4x square, this is 4x square plus 4 plus 8x is equal to 244. I add these 8x square, 8x and 244 comes to the left hand side, so this becomes 240. Now see, one thing that I always suggest students is, please be very focused on what you are doing. Now if you look at this quadratic equation, you can do this quadratic equation. So try to solve this quadratic equation. But if you are aware, you will understand that I can take 8 outside. You can take 8 common. That's a trick you can use. So 8 common. Once you have taken 8 common, then you have x square plus x minus 30, which is a far more comfortable quadratic equation to be working with rather than this 8x square plus 8x minus 240. So please, whenever you reach this stage where whenever you form a quadratic equation, please relook at the quadratic equation and try to see if there are numbers which can be factored out, so that the quadratic equation becomes an easier quadratic equation to work with. And once you have reached this stage, in word problems, usually 90% of the cases, you will just have to split the middle terms. 95% of the cases, they give a very simple quadratic equation to split. Splitting the middle term is very easy. I've hardly seen, usually it happens in prelims level. If they give a difficult equation, usually they'll give you a easy middle term to split and you can do it. But again, what I'm trying to say is that here, splitting the middle term is a critical skill. Again, if you are not aware how to do this, please have a look at the lecture in the comment section. You'll have to spend some time. So 6x minus 5x, and then you take factor out the x plus 6, and now you have two values of x. Here you will have to mention why you are ignoring minus 6, because you know that your number is a natural number. So you will have to mention that I am ignoring this value of x because I have been given natural number. If you look at the question, they are asking for natural numbers. So you will have to mention. And now we come to this point. I think we were talking somewhere here. Now see, your x is 5. Your x is 5. But this is not the final answer. Because the number that you had assumed were 2x and 2x plus 2. These were the consecutive even numbers that you had assumed. So your final answer would be 10 and 12. This would be your final answer. And let's check whether 10 and 12 are okay. Are they the right? Do we have the right answer? So I have 10 and 12. So sum of square of two consecutive natural even numbers. So 10 square is 100. 12 square is 144. So 100 plus 144 is 244. So this is the correct answer. So the best thing about word problems is you can always check your answer. At the end of the question, you can always check your answer and find the numbers. So the numbers which you have to write are 10 and 12. Okay, so let's move to the. I hope this is you didn't face any difficulty while looking at the solution. Let's go to the next question. Question number 3.